Okay, so here you are at the playground. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and log in. And when you're in, you should see something like this. Now, you're going to click into our course, and you'll see in here we have sample problems for coding, competency 1, competency 2, competency 3, competency 4, so on and so forth. Right now, we're just going to play around. So what I want you to do is you'll notice here on the left-hand side we have questions. We're going to go into manage questions. And here, right here, I'll see we have add new. Now, here's your super basic. Right up here, what we're going to do is make a description. We are going to call this like learning to code. This way, delete me later. All right, that way we know anybody who's looking at this knows it's fine to delete, just as just us playing today. User rights. This is private, meaning nobody else can see this question, nobody else can use this question except for me. I can see everything. You probably want to change that so people in your group can use it and see the question and test it. So we're going to say allow use by all. You could also allow use and modifications by your group. So that way your classmates could also go in here and edit it with you. So that would probably be fine. For assignments, libraries, you'll see there's now an option for PVCC, MAT220, play problems. So we're going to select that. So we're going to say, I want to put this problem there. So we always know where to go find it later. Now, there's question types. And for writing questions, you'll notice right here, this is the I live and breathe this thing. This brings up all the different options for coding and what the information you're going to need to be able to figure stuff out. For right now, we'll keep this easy. There's lots of question types. Let's go with a calculated number. In here, common control. Common control is where you write your code. Question text is where you write what you want to be showing on the screen. So down here, I could say, this is my question. And when I say click save and preview, it'll come up saying, this is my question. Okay. Now, if I want the answer box to show up, I'm going to type in $answer box. And now I have an answer box somewhere for students to type things in. Now, but what do I want my answer to be? Well, I'm going to say $answer. Now notice this is up in the common control. This is where the actual code happens. Down here is what they see. Up top is the actual information. So if I want the answer to be 7, I'd say equals 7. So now, if they type in 7 and hit submit, they get a green check. If they type in 9 and hit submit, they get a red X. They got it wrong. And this, you can see the show answer right there does that. Okay, so I'm going to close this out, and we should now be able to play with some more. Now, what if I didn't want the answer to be 7? What if I wanted the answer to be something random? Well, you'll notice here in the writing question help, there's one main thing here is called Randomizer. So I'm going to click that. This is how we get random numbers to appear. So I'm just going to go split screen on this. I'm going to put this here and put this here. Okay, so how do I choose any random number? Now this is function notation, and this is how everything is kind of written in math. So random, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make my answer be a random, and you'll notice it turns purple. Parenthesis, what is the lowest number I want it to be? I don't know. 4, comma, what is the highest number I want it to be? 72. So now when I click save and preview, I don't know what my answer is. I can't possibly tell you what the answer is going to be because it's a random number. It's 39. Okay, so 39. Submit. Okay, so now we're going to write the world's easiest problem just so we can kind of learn how to store some variables. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to write the problem. We're going to make it so it's like 3 plus 4 or 7 plus 2. We're going to make an addition. So to do that, I need 2 random numbers. How do I do that? Well, so the first thing I'm going to do is $A, because $sign is a variable. So $A, and I can name it anything I want. I can make it $number 1, right? So the first number, let's do that, equals a random number going from 1 to 12. And then $number 2 equals a random number going from 1 to 12. Okay, so now what do I want my answer to be? Well, I want it to be $number 1 plus $number 2. So now my answer is going to be those two numbers added. But if I don't put anything down here, the person will have no idea what problem to do. So what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to say $, number 1 plus $number 2. And so now when we hit it, you'll see this is my question. What is 6 plus 5? Well, I know the answer to that is 11. So when I hit submit, hey, I got it right because it's looking for 11. And if I regen, now it wants 9 plus 1. That's 10. 12. Get the idea? So this is the basics, the first step to coding. So the first thing we need to do is understand how to store random numbers. So you have to have $, and then you name it whatever you want to name it. And then equals, because it's going to take whatever random number you generate and store it in there. Then we have a second number, and then we're going to add them and store it as our answer for the problem. And you'll notice there's certain variables that are very specific, like answer. Notice how when I do that one, it turns green because the system recognizes that as this is the answer to the problem, and you're going to use it down here for the answer box. Okay, so now what I want you to do is come up with a multiplication problem and a division problem, and you should notice some interesting things that might come up as you're playing. But play.